Good morning from Mount Rainier National Park. This is Steve with my hiking buddy Gino.
Good morning.
Today we're on the trail to Crystal Lakes. Started down by the creek down there at about 6:30. The first mile and fourth up to this junction with Crystal Peak is very steep, so I didn't film anything. It took us 45 minutes to get here. Temp is 50, no bugs, overcast, cloudy. No rain. We had some rain on the way down, or I did, and 2 cars in the parking lot this morning. One looked like an overnighter. It was pretty dusty. So one thing I want to mention from a trip report yesterday, between the 2 lakes, the lower lake and the upper lake, there's still quite a bit of snow on the trail, so we're going to check that out. And the upper lake is still very similar to Olali last week, covered with ice and snow, but around the edges and some parts of it melted out. So anxious to see what the trail's like up above the lower lake. So we'll check in up at the lower lake. And as always, hope you enjoy this one. Thanks for hiking with us. Lower Crystal Lake. Some snow on the patch or side. So we've reached the intersection with the lower lake and the upper lake. There is a couple people camped here at the lower lake. I didn't want to film or talk too much down there. Update on the trail conditions as we start up to the upper lake. We have hit some snow below the lower lake, a few patches. There's a boot path through them. Not too bad so far, and as you can see, this section of the trail is melted out. So I think we're going to have that kind of off and on snow cover up to the upper lake, so we'll check in up there. It's a little bit before 8 o'clock. I'm guessing 20 minutes or so to the upper lake. We'll see. We'll check in up there. There's our first view of Crystal Peak this morning in the clouds. Still a lot of snow up there. This is an area that I always like to stop at. The water comes under the trail here and flows down this hillside into lower Crystal Lake. As you can see though, it's still pretty foggy. A little bit of blue sky up above us. And we can't see the very top of Crystal Peak. It's shrouded in fog and mist. Okay, we'll continue our journey on to the upper lake. Another little stream or creek that flows under the trail here and then heads down slope. Another view of Crystal Peak for you. And so far so good. The trail, of course, this area is in the open and faces west, so this trail is like this. So far there's been more snow below the lower lake than there's been between the lower and upper lakes. So we're interested to see how it is as we get closer to the lake. We're about halfway there. We'll check in up at the lake. Well, as you can see, me and my big mouth, right after I stopped filming that last segment, we've hit the snow, or at least the patches. It's pretty solid here. Got to watch where the water's running under here. But you can see it kind of alternates as it heads up the hill there. Lake should be right up over this rise here. Hard to tell. It's so foggy and misty this morning, but the trees kind of clear out. So I think we're getting pretty close. But as you can see, right in front of me is a hole in the snow that drops down about 1.5 feet. So I'm going to turn off the camera here while I negotiate this. There's this stream that runs right under where we're walking here. So I want to make sure I don't fall in. So we'll check in a bit, probably up at the lake. Let me take you with me the last little bit to Crystal Lake, upper Crystal Lake. Through the snow, the fog, the wind. Here we are. 8:15 on the nose. It is socked in up here, wow. And it is blowing like a son of a gun. Still frozen in spots. Boy, we can't even see the other side or up to Sourdough Gap. So the other camp for Upper Crystal Lakes over here is probably in the snow. But I think I was telling Gino the temperature really dropped here in this last stretch, probably 10 degrees. It's got to be in the 40s now. But we're going to take a break here and we'll resume filming in a bit. I got to put my fleece on. Got a little chilly here. Anyway, Upper Crystal Lake on a foggy morning in June 2022. I told Gino this looks like the North Atlantic with all these ice flows out here at Crystal Lake.
Not for those polar bears.
Can't even see, Gino, the other shore. And obviously can't see up to Sourdough Gap, but just a quick update here. I have a thermometer on my pack and checked it out, and it is a chilly 42 degrees up here. So anyway, we're going to finish up our break and get a little warm, and then we're going to head back down. I might film a little bit in the snow to show you the conditions, although going down is a little more tricky than coming up. But we just followed the boot path and made it up here okay at 8:15, which is what I thought we'd do. So pretty good time for two old grizzled veteran hikers. Anyway, we'll check in on the way down. So this is the trail, and as you could see, we were just discussing, it looks like there's about 3 feet of snow here. And we are following this boot path. I'm going to go slow. I'm not using my poles here. I don't want to, and I'm starting to slide a bit. But this is what the trail looks like up here. And whoa, and it goes over this way. And you can see these tree wells here. I don't know, Gino, 3 feet?
At least.
And but there's a real nice boot path, and we just followed the path right up to the lake. So, okay, I'm going to put this away, or I'm going to be sliding down one of these hills over here. So we'll check in a couple times on the way down. So we're on our way down. We've cleared both lakes and the last of the snow. A little slipping and sliding coming down between the two lakes, and I post-holed again on the way down. So I had one on the way up and one on the way down. And then your trusty Pathfinder Steve got us off course, and we ended up in a, I don't know, Gino, what was that? Just snow melt?
Some sort of little creek.
Yeah, so we're in this creek bed, and Gino goes, I think you're going the wrong way. And so his eagle eyes spotted the trail. We were about, I don't know, 20 yards off. And so we hiked through the snow over to the actual boot path through the snow there. We've seen one guy up by the upper lake. He was one of the campers at the lower lake. And then we just saw a young woman who is coming up the trail in her Teva sandals, no socks. And I said, your feet are going to get cold. And she had no idea that there was snow up there and how much. So she wasn't sure she was going to go up all the way. She was going to go as far as she can. But we were kind of chuckling at these, you know, we both have big hiking boots on, and she's hiking up in Teva sandals and bare feet. So Gino said he wasn't sure crampons would attach to those. So anyway, I'll check in one final time when we get down by Crystal Creek and give you a hiker count update and tell you our plans for the weeks ahead. This is Steve checking in one final time as we approach Crystal Creek. The sun has come out, temperatures have warmed nicely, and just in the last half mile, we've run into 5 hikers heading up. And after not seeing anybody for a long time, we've run into 5. A car goes by on Highway 410, and here comes a couple more right here. So I'll shut off for a minute. And there's 4 more hikers right there, so 9 in the last half mile. Okay, here's Crystal Creek, and it is flowing this morning. Okay, I wanted to fill everybody in. This is usually our first hike after Grove of the Patriarchs and Silver Falls, and leads into our summer hiking season at Mount Rainier, but there's so much snow, I think we're going to wait a few weeks. So just check the channel, and we'll have some more videos as we get into July. But for now, I think we're going to wait a few weeks before we come back down to Rainier and do a hike down here. So, as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.